Shit gotta start playing. Can't just be silent of a motherfucker breathing, bro. I'm just saying, I don't know if that was you or Trey, but I just heard.
You know that was Trey.
No, I didn't know. I wasn't sure this time. Normally, I know it's Trey, but like.
Yeah, I'm over here playing games on my phone. I might just concentrate.
Boy, playing Bloons Tower Defense.
In fact, shit kind of clean.
That shit is fun. Goddamn, it's been 40 seconds. You can't hit the button yet?
Yes.
Alright, man. Fuck all that. Because I know he's going to start playing it while I'm talking, but fuck it. Crash Course Episode 2, man. Alien 2. You know what I'm saying? Aliens, if you will. Yeah, I listened back to the other episode. That was kind of more fire than I thought it was. So we back again and shit. Who else in this bitch?
Black motherfucking Roos in this hoe. What's happening?
Yo, it's OG Trey, man. We back for another Crash Course, man. King Crash out on the Crash Course. Y'all know how this shit go, man. Let's get it.
And I am
I
KTL, the main character, because you can't spell character without KTL. Go ahead, Roots.
That's not true, actually.
The L is silent.
Where's the K?
At the start of the word.
Okay, right on.
In the trunk.
Yeah. So
the
L is silent and the K is invisible. One hell of a word you got. All right,
it's not invisible, bro. That's how you start. What do you think makes the cuss sound?
I thought it was a C, but shit. So
that's
I must have failed something.
Misconception is also spelled with a K. Go ahead.
That
Roots.
is a little bit.
You got a bone to pick. Pause.
Is bone also spelled with a K? Or am I just completely?
only if you're.
No, at this point you gotta check.
Yeah,
like I'm kind of questioning how you got through school at this point.
Yeah, I can just pretty much substitute K wherever I please.
That nigga resume look trash. Just all misspelt shit.
Yeah, and that shit got me to the big bag I got today. Drop out of school, kids. It don't matter in the long run.
Shout out Big Bad KTL, man.
Thanks, brother. Go ahead, Roots.
Right,
what were you gonna complain about?
This weak ass lieutenant, bruh. This nigga suck.
You jumping straight to the lieutenant?
Straight to the lieutenant. Fuck that nigga.
First, I do wish, I don't know, Roots, I kind of wish you would have had a different picture here, because her and this weak ass cat, this cat got the fuck on in the first 10 minutes of the movie. 15 minutes, you ain't see.
Or was he in the movie? Hey, just because Chris Brown the cat
so.
don't mean he wasn't
that was a different cat, I think.
Hey, hold on. How you spell cat, though?
Shit, however you want, for real.
Okay.
There ain't no rules to this shit. You spell Roots with a Z.
That's a fact.
I also spell words with a Z.
Well, here we are. But
not bad.
So Ripley been drifting through space and shit. Finally gets picked up and shit. Found. Wakes up in the hospital, and they tell her.
Mention how long she's been drifting through space.
I'm literally about to do that right now.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, I'm literally about to do that.
Was that 57 years shit accurate?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or was that just a dream shit?
She woke up and they told her that she'd been drifting for 57 years and shit.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm saying? So pretty much the people that she was on the ship with are dead, but most of the people she knows, knew before she went to sleep are dead too, including her daughter. She finds out her daughter died like a couple years ago and shit. That plays a kind of an integral role in this movie.
I missed that part.
Yeah, he tells it to her before she goes in there and does the debriefing or whatever. So they debrief her, ask her why she blew the fucking ship up, and she says because there was a big fucked up alien thing, and they say, yeah, you say that, but we can't find no record of it. So they basically tell her that she might be.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, she said, I hope not. I blew it out the fucking airlock, but
good point.
They basically tell that bitch that she's crazy. They not gonna arrest her and shit, but she's got to go through a psych eval from now on, and she's stripped of her status because she got on their ass trying to tell them like, hey, y'all better be on the watch out for this shit because these fucking bugs are still out there killing folks and shit. So yeah, that's about as far as that goes. they got colonies and shit on the planet where that shit was found 57 years ago, with like a bunch of families on that hoe now. And basically they, of course, because it would, some shit went left, and now they want Ripley to come help a crew of space marines go clear them bugs out and try to, I guess, save whatever's left on that bitch. And I think
All
that's a
this shit
pretty
is about all
synopsis
this
of the
shit is
movie.
about making and saving money, bro.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. These motherfuckers are they're just like skeezy ass scientists and businessmen, bro. It's been two movies and it's the same type of shit. Motherfuckers be out here like they could avoid all of this shit, but they just want to try to like make some money or do some research or some shit, and they're
And
just
do
like
some
horrendous
research to make some
people,
money.
yo. Exactly. Like, I don't know, man.
I know we're not going in like perfect chronological order, or maybe we are this time
Not at
around.
all.
But I do want to point out just a couple of things while we are at this section of the movie.
Mm.
Number one, I think, and this does a good job of capturing it. Like we said, she's potentially, well, not potentially, she is essentially displaced in time. Like she has been asleep for the last half century and
Yep.
some. So everybody she knew that like all her coworkers died in front of her, and then she wakes up to find that everybody else she knew has also pretty much died, right?
All
Because
she got is this weak ass cat.
right, so she has pretty much been frozen in time for the last 60 years almost. So
Hmm.
essentially, what that means is that like she has to come back to life, and not the life she thought she was going to come back to, and she is having nightmares, and which is essentially PTSD, right?
Yeah.
Because
Facts.
no way around it, which is very realistic. And I'm glad they decided to showcase that, because anybody who goes through either of those things, like imagine waking up 60 years later and you don't know anybody anymore and things like that. But also watching people die in front of you, escaping an alien terror, having to blow up this ship and being completely thrown face
You
helplessly.
will not be okay.
You will not be okay. And I think the nightmares and like she has them recurring, and that they kind of prompt different emotions from her as she carries on throughout the story. I really appreciate that, because I thought that was realistic. Like, and even like when she gets to the end and kind of triumphs over it a little bit, like with her
Mm.
deciding to kind of go and do her thing. We get to that when we get to it.
Hmm.
Really do appreciate
I
they set the
oh go
stage
go go.
SD to be real, and then they set the stage for her to battle it throughout the movie and then kind of conquer it at the end of the movie. So I fucked with that.
So was
I
that
want
both
to
points
piggyback
or was that just one?
You said was that what?
You said you
both
had
points or
two
just one.
points you wanted to make. Was that
Oh
both of
well,
them?
yeah. One, I wanted to talk about like that they set the stage for the PTSD. The second thing, I can wait until after Ruth says what he's about to say.
Okay.
It sounds like he's
Well,
about to
it's
piggyback
good
off
because
this.
I wanted to piggyback off the
Exactly.
PTSD thing. A lot of PTSD, one of the physical manifestations is anxiety, and
Mhm.
a lot of people experience their anxiety physically in their chest. So I thought it was super fire that they had the first nightmare with the shit coming out of her chest, and then
Mm-hmm.
every time she had some type of episode, whether it's from seeing something or thinking about something, she grabbed her chest again. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's something that they did on purpose, but if it was
I think
fire,
that's a
even if
real
it's not,
cold
still fire.
correlation.
I think
Um,
it. Go ahead, KJ.
well, I think that like another thing that you kind of got to factor in too is that for a motherfucker who has PTSD or whatever, like it's not just like a soldier will go to war and shit, and they'll come back and survive. They'll have seen their, had to kill people. They'll have seen their friends die, etc. And people like will try to help them to an extent. But here, not only have you suffered this traumatic experience, but nobody believes that you suffered this traumatic experience
Which is
neither.
worse.
Like they told you you're crazy and they're like ordering you get psych evals from a fucking Navy doc or whatever the
From
whole time.
from
So
some
I think
shit
that
you
that
know you've
further
seen.
complicates that,
Yeah.
this shit. I've seen some shit you couldn't even imagine, and you're telling me I'm crazy, I made it up, what, to blow up the ship? You took everything from me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
And kind of just to piggyback on like the response to the PTSD shit, I think a big part of it could also be like survivor's remorse, like that's always a thing. And then like
yes.
she
Right.
envisioning like how it started, like the first real instance of somebody dying was the first baby alien popping out of his chest or his stomach or whatever,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like that, and be honest, that's ingrained in your memory, right? Like if you think, because that was when it was calm. Like after that, it was pretty much chaos throughout. So a lot of
Hmm.
times we don't process everything during a chaotic moment or during like times of high stress. We don't process everything normally. But they were just sitting there having dinner. So her first real dose of the chaos was when he started convulsing at the table and then the baby alien popped out of his chest. For her, that's like quote unquote patient zero, right? Like that's when everything kind of went to shit. So like it makes sense that like that's where her mind is stuck. Like nigga, that's the moment where my life just went to hell. Like I have been pretty much under siege for 56 years since that goddamn thing popped out his chest.
And let us not also forget that during this time, she also almost got murdered by a fucking android and shit that
Yep.
they
Facts,
didn't
and she
tell
got to
like
face
her
that
Mm-hmm.
was
too.
on the ship. Yeah,
Yep.
so she's got like a weird, like it's not, racism or whatever, but it's like a bigotry, a stigma against, synthetic life forms and shit. And
Naturally.
for a valid reason, you know what I'm
Very,
saying? But
very
like
Definitely
valid.
for a valid reason.
that's something that she struggles to overcome through this movie too, is that you're 50 some odd years in the future and you find out there's another one of these fucking robots near you and shit. You flipping shit, and they're trying to tell you that like, hey, there have been hella technological advancements in the past 6 decades. This shit ain't
And they
like
don't
that
get
no
in,
more. But
Yeah.
all
and she
Fuck
you
don't
all
give a
that.
fuck
remember
about
is,
that.
bro, all you remember is a month ago, you know what I'm saying, a motherfucker almost murdered you and shit
Right. Which
because they wanted to uh to save an
Preserve some
alien.
that's
bullshit
right.
ass life
And which
form.
to
Yeah.
you might have felt like yesterday. Like nigga,
That's
I feel
that.
like
See, and that's
I've
why I
been
said a
asleep for
month ago
50 years.
because I
Yeah.
think that there's some time lapse or whatever. But it definitely was just like a month, a week ago for you with
Yeah,
your,
like you
memory,
literally
man.
fell asleep and the next day you wake up and it's another android over here. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, bro, I don't fuck with that. Like the last
Bro, you know
android
what?
tried to fucking suffocate me and bring back aliens.
With a fucking
Mm-hmm.
magazine.
And
But
now you
Mm-hmm.
you know
tell
what's
me we
crazy
brought
about that?
another
And
alien, we brought another android to another alien planet. I seen this movie. I was in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fuck you talking about?
And y'all
you know
so
what's
calm.
crazy?
Y'all
The
acting like it ain't nothing
correlation.
weird. Y'all all know about it. Like we ain't know about that shit and we wasn't fucking with it. Y'all all know about it and y'all cool with this shit?
Yeah, that's
Man,
what's up.
hell no.
So
Yeah,
there's also a real life correlation with that as well. I related to there was a kid that I grew up with. I somehow we managed to be in every like school together or whatever.
what was his
And it was
name?
a white kid. It was a white kid. I'm not gonna say his name. He a police officer now. But
Okay.
that nigga got bullied by niggas every fucking day, bro.
Oh,
Black
damn.
folks bullied the shit out this nigga. And it so in when you're in school, you don't really know or see what bullying is because bullying doesn't really play out in real life how it does on fucking I don't know Nickelodeon or Disney or however they fucking play it out. That shit look mad different, and it might just seem regular to you if that's how you grew up. But this nigga grew up getting bullied by niggas every day, and to the point where we got like towards the end of high school, and everybody's like, "Oh, he a racist. Oh, he a racist." I'm like, bro, if he is a racist, y'all poked the bear the entirety of this nigga life. What did you fucking expect? And so
Mm.
that's why I correlated with this because she the last time she seen a robot nigga, this nigga tried to stuff a magazine down my fucking throat. Not in a good
Mm-hmm.
way.
Pause.
And
There is a good way.
Pause.
some people might
How
correlate
about
it
we just skip that
to
part?
oral things,
That's cool.
but yeah, but yeah, the last time I seen a synthetic being, this motherfucker tried to kill me, and y'all trying to tell me, oh, they're better now. Fuck that better now
Mm-hmm.
shit.
Right.
Where's a
Actually,
blick? I'm about to shoot this nigga.
yeah, I don't fuck with nothing that ain't human. The last two things that wasn't human tried to do that. Like, nigga, I'm running from anything that's not human. So
Yeah,
just to
I'm
kind of
not fucking
back
with it.
to like kind of scanning through the plot. So
There's
they
a
put on the
family
psych
that gets
eval shit, right?
smoked over there
Okay.
on the fucking planet
I
and
was
shit.
just about to jump to that, right? So,
Oh, my fault.
oh, you good, you good. So they put her down for the psyche evals, right? So about a month passes, she's in her apartment, and then that family, they've pretty much colonized that planet. What was it, LV-426 or something like that? So they've
Yeah.
Hmm.
literally colonized and
That
terraformed that
should be
planet
funny
where
as
they
hell when you
originally
do
from.
that or some shit, knowing exactly what you said is right. Like, cause nonchalant, that shit, we be doing that shit. Like, bro, you just said some complicated shit or some shit. You just told me what pi is and this or something. Like, what the fuck? You know that's what it is.
All right, you got me. But yeah, so like that was another reason why the original, or not the original, but this new group of Marines and shit didn't really buy into her story, is because the place where she said all of this shit kind of originated is a place that they have colonized for decades, and people live there and they haven't had any complications or run-ins with aliens or anything like that. So in their defense, it is sensible that they're not buying into her story. We have no
Mm.
evidence of your ship. Your distress call was shit. You've been asleep for 60 years. You could be disoriented. You survived,
And
so
you
on and
blew
so
the
forth.
ship up, so
And
nobody can corroborate it.
right, and we have no other testimony but yours, and we just have to believe you. And the one place you say is so dangerous, I know people that live there, and they haven't reported it in decades. You was there for 3 minutes, and you got attacked.
They sent down. I think he said like 60 to 90 families or some shit.
Right.
That's a small town,
Yeah, that's
and
plenty
they
of
ain't got
people,
no
literally.
complaints. So I can
If you just
understand
have three
why
people
they
per
didn't believe that
family,
shit.
you're still dealing with a couple hundred people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
like
that's more than enough people for where somebody should have had a run in with one of these things if it's so dangerous as you say. But fast forward, that family, the Jordans, I believe their names are, they go, the guy, the father of that lead family, they go like scavenging or whatever, and he bumps into the original ship that dropped off those aliens in the first movie type shit. So he goes in there, gets caught by the face hugger. His wife ends up dragging him out. We all know how this movie ends. Face hugger bodies
right.
niggas. That's just how that goes.
I'm about to
And
say that lady swing the door open and shit, and the little girl see her pops over there with a face hugger doing that to him.
yeah,
You
it
know
was
what I'm saying?
that's her villain origin story right there. Shit getting spooky for these bitches. I ain't gonna lie.
That shit is sick,
Shit
man.
getting super spooky,
Like,
bro.
hey, bro,
Said
I'm
doing
gonna
that
be
to him.
honest with you, Trey. Like, you know how they be saying, like, a motherfucking, obviously he's dead, so, like, this doesn't fully correlate. But you know how they say, like, motherfuckers watch they pops get his ass beat in a fight, and they can't look at him the same no more? You
Yeah.
Right.
you seen you seen your daddy with an alien face raping him and shit, man. You can't look at
You can't
no.
Yeah.
look at that. That's
Definitely
not your
Yeah,
hard
pops
to
no
see
more.
you as a man. Like, nigga, I watched the alien fuck on you, bro. Like,
come on, bro.
like you can't whip my ass no more. I'll call that face hugger in here and shut all that
I
shit
ain't
down.
taking out no trash, bitch ass nigga.
Yeah, go. Hey, say something else to me.
About to
I'll go
say,
get that alien. Have
about
him
to
do
say
that.
that wife out there just going through it and shit. Now he mad at the world and shit because some shit got on you, man. You knocking her head between the washer and the dryer and shit. Why you ain't do that to the alien? Shut up, bitch.
Right. She gonna go get pregnant by one of them niggas. Really fuck his world up. Now, cause speaking of getting pregnant by aliens,
Oh my lord, boy, what is your
No,
search history
wildest
look like?
transition ever. What are you
What
about to talk about?
what is your
well,
search history, man?
well, I was just gonna say, like, the aliens are like these are some of the. I don't think I can think of any more like it's on site for niggas type creatures that I've ever seen. Like these niggas have no like
There's no warm up.
Trepidation or
It's
no
yeah,
just
there's
go.
there's
hesitation?
no like maybe I kill you, maybe I don't. There's no like here's your chance to
There's a
run.
little bit of stalking, but it's
It's
not
literally
it's
like as
not
soon as I
It's
debatable.
feel
to
like I
it's to
got the
find you and that's it.
opportunity, like if I got the drop, I'm taking it every time. Like if I see some shit I don't like, I'm on that with niggas. So I guess we
Trey,
can
I
kind of
seen an
segue.
army of these roaches and shit go through, mounted sentry turrets and shit. They got 450 bullets apiece, just lighting the hallway, boy. They did not give up for shit around that hole. Finally, they was like, "Hey, what's a smarter way we can do this?" And about 30 to 40 of them bitches just came through the ceiling in the ducts, man.
That shit
Like
actually kind of spooky. But I
that
also want to talk
shit.
about something because if we go back to the first movie, right, and we say
Mhm,
that the aliens took on those humanoid forms because they melded with the DNA from the first dude, and that's
Yes.
kind of why. Why are
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
all of these aliens also formed like that?
Well,
Where is
because
that
whenever
process?
they they there's a couple of those scenes where they find what I can only refer to as a nest. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers are suspended with like some slimy ass shit, and I assume that that's just like the way that it is. You haven't heard any complaints about anything because these motherfuckers are getting dropped off. So they
Right.
taking
Or
these
I
folks
just
and
thought
putting
about it.
them down there in the slimy little area and shit. That facehugger does it to them, and them aliens grow up in an hour,
Yeah, I was about to
like
say.
they
I was just
fully
thinking about that.
grown.
It's like by the time they bodied all those colonies, and then that would explain why so many of them, because it only takes them an hour to really get
Hey,
rid of
Roots,
that.
Bro, really think about that shit, bro. These some freaky ass aliens, bro.
on my mama.
They come in a body shit. Whoever they don't body, yeah, we gonna take you over to this nest, stick you on the wall, let some shit face fuck you, and then you gonna have our
I
babies
have a chest
and
baby.
die. Like what the fuck?
Hey, Roots, I was gonna ask you. I know one of your biggest complaints last movie was the black pants and the squeaky boot aliens and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit,
Promised Land pants alien
yeah,
shit.
I'm about to say this shit. I think this shit looked a lot better. This movie. I mean, they had 7 more
It
years to
did.
fine tune it,
So
but
so 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 there was one thing that I noticed. So whenever they had opportunity to like use hands and shit, they definitely did that better. There was
hmm
a couple of things that I noticed. For one, whenever they showed an alien in its entirety, it was very fast. There wasn't a whole lot of time that you got to see it to really be able to
to
pick stuff out.
process it, yep.
So right, so which is smart as fuck. You know, if you're trying to pull the wool over the eyes of the audience, then show it real fast, so that way
Yeah,
you
you're
don't
like,
have
what
too
the
much
fuck
time
was
to
that? Oh,
expose
that was
yourself. Pause.
scary. Then you pause it and you actually just see a motherfucker arm going up the neck of that bitch or something. You
Right,
know?
right. The only complaint I had about the aliens in this movie was certain movements that they did. I've seen like okay, so if we just go based off of like hunting, like hunting animals and shit. Like if you shoot a bear, they don't throw their arms up and fall back. Like they just kind of collapse. Whereas
hmm
every single time one of these motherfuckers got shot in the chest, they threw their hands up like they was being told by the police to freeze and then fell. That was
hmm
kind of stupid to me. But other than that, they did a very good job at not doing the fucking welding boot shit. They made these look a lot better, and they did very good camera work to kind of hide the movie magic.
Yeah, I think one thing too, like I won't say that I disagree with what you said, but I kind of had like an inverse opinion of it, where like I thought that whenever they showed you the face of the alien and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, they gave us more vivid details than the last
Mm,
movie and shit. You know what I'm saying? Pause in advance, but like you literally seeing the spit dripping from this thing's mouth and shit.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These big fucking teeth and shit. Like it looks disgusting, wet and slimy and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it is even more horrifying as a creature if it's something you've never seen before. Like I say, you know, in 1986 they still wasn't that advanced. So this shit definitely would be the nightmare fuel of some shit
Well,
like that.
there's even things to down to like the setting at the very beginning of the movie. That shit looked fire to me. Like how they have the setting of the inside of the ship and shit, and then they have certain they had the little scan and shit come through. I was like, oh shit, they was doing this in '86. But then I thought I was
Mhm.
like, well, fucking Star Wars was out there during that time. They thought to fucking put lightsabers in a motherfucker. So but visually,
That
this shit was definitely super fire. The queen, what's the thing called?
xenomorph.
Xenomorph. The Queen Xenomorph, they did a
That
fantastic job
thing
on
is
making this shit look
fucked
fucked up.
up looking, man.
Bro,
That
bro, I
That
don't mean
thing
to jump.
head was so long, bro. Like I don't
Look,
think that's a
bro,
pause because it's a bitch, but that thing head cranium was extended, boy.
bro, I don't mean to jump like all the way to the end, but there was that sequence of finding the queen bitch and then the what's it Ripley go to find up the nest and shit and this bitch literally drop her pussy off to go catch a fade.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's literally what she fucking did was, let me put this pussy down real quick so I can go beat this bitch the fuck up. She done fuck my
Mm-hmm.
kids up and
Let
shit.
me put this pussy down is absolutely
Detachable
barbaric work.
pussy and shit, boy.
I'm gonna be honest. That as its own standalone sentence, let me put this pussy down is
Let me tell
absolutely
y'all something, bro. In the
nefarious statement.
in the course of about 10 minutes, I'll say 20 to be generous, we've had yeah, so speaking of aliens getting motherfuckers pregnant and shit, and now
Absolutely.
we've got let me drop this pussy off to go catch this fade. Like y'all y'all are in a different bag for this one, man.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
totally honest. Speaking of getting pregnant by aliens is absolutely dwarfed by let me drop this pussy off real quick. Let me put this
I don't
pussy
know.
down.
I think it's what and what because like it the second one is so fucking absurd, but the first one is just like so obscure. Like what? Oh man!
It's because it's using that as a transition is insane.
I
But
agree, but the phrase three men in a
well, the
room and
fact
you
that your
hear
mind like
let me put
fabricated
this
the
pussy
sentence like
down
let me
real
put
quick.
this pussy down and I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
like
run
if
and
I
shit.
walk into a room and the first thing I hear is speaking of getting pregnant by aliens, that's a conversation that if three men are having, It's wild to hear, but I can
Mm-hmm.
see how three men got there. If I
Mm.
walk in, the
Can
first
you?
thing I hear is, "Let me put this pussy down real quick so I can go catch this fake." Excuse me, sir.
I would hope it would be a ma'am.
Yeah, like what the fuck do you mean you finna put this
Put it
pussy down?
down. How to?
Like what, nigga? Like where is it to be dropped off?
Where is it?
That shit.
Like
That shit is a
like
belt.
how are
You
you?
see that? You
Yeah,
just
bro. Let me
unbuckle
put
the
this
belt
pussy
and leave
down.
that bitch.
Oh
Come
shit!
on, man. All right, so look, quick. Let's get back to this shit.
So, all right. So, like
All
I
right, so
say, you know what I'm
go
saying.
ahead.
One thing that I want to praise about this movie too is, the most important thing that I took away from this movie. Aliens, Alien 2 is not the same movie as Alien 1.
Absolutely.
Mm,
Alien 1 is a movie, like a suspense thriller type movie, where it is
mm,
about a group of people who have very limited protection and no knowledge of what they're facing, being hunted by something that is essentially an apex predator. There is
right.
not much they can do about it. They are in a small, confined space with this motherfucker. They have to try to avoid it and get away.
Mm,
Alien 2 is a group of, foolhardy military personnel believing that they're going in there to fight some run of the mill menace and realizing quickly that they are in over their head. But the entire time they have the technology to fend off, these things were it not so many of them. So it is an all out war. And that is
most
so
definitely.
fire to me, like that they just went a completely different direction with the
Yeah,
Listen,
sequel.
I
listen. The
agree with all
shootout
that. Go
fights
ahead.
with these shits were so fire to me. Just
Mm-hmm.
being that they're set or not set. This came out in the fucking mid 80s, and they got
Mm-hmm.
big ass machine guns dropping off big ass aliens, and these
Mm-hmm.
motherfuckers is talking cash shit. What's the nigga name? Hitch or whatever the fuck.
Hicks, yeah.
Talking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You want some? Lay down, bitch. Fuck
Bro.
you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a, oh shit, this nigga going crazy.
That Vasquez bitch was getting action till she
Vasquez is
seen what
she
happened to
one of them
Buddy.
ones. So I wanted to throw this in there too. The ingenuity of the fucking aliens is ridiculous. Like for them not to be human, their ability to think and improvise is
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
insane. Like them niggas are going to find a way. Like the first instance was if you go back to Alien 1 where he hides off in that little corner space while
Yep.
yeah, it might not have been genius, but he had to have the thought process that this shit is going to blow up if I kill this bitch. I don't know how to fly planes. I'm finna duck off right here until she ship us out. Then I'll kill this bitch. That's crazy. Number two, when they ambush those niggas after they come in and try and kill the baby. Because, like, oh, also, before I want to finish my thought, but thank God for military personnel saying, fuck this dead bitch. We got to do that. Because when that
Mm-hmm.
bitch woke up and said, please kill me, and then they seen that bitch forming out her chest, they
Mm-hmm.
lit that bitch up like a
Lit that
Blasted
Christmas
bitch
that
the
bitch.
tree,
fuck
and I
up.
couldn't be
Mm-hmm.
happier about it. We gotta kill shit the moment we see shit going wrong. I was so happy to
Please
see
kill
that
me,
they
bitch.
took a
You ain't
That
gotta
fucking
tell
look,
me
that's
flamethrower
twice.
to that
why
bitch.
this can't happen in the first movie because if it does, the movie is 20 minutes.
My
Over.
nigga,
Yeah.
they saw her chest bubbling, like, what the fuck, bitch? And got a flamethrower right to it, and that was the end of that baby. That was it. That bitch
Mm-hmm.
died right there with the human. Y'all got to go. Okay, but then so getting back to
Motherfucker
that
ain't even
though,
get a chance to touch the ground.
bro, fuck that baby. Like you feel me? Fuck the nigga it's coming out
Come
of.
on, bro.
Fuck
You
both of
hear
them.
these sentences, bro? Like what what's happening, bro? Like
Hey, hey, fuck the baby and the host. Y'all got to go. But
that
even
boy hate
like
the
just getting
baby.
back to like the predators. Well, I don't know, not the predators,
Oh,
but
come
the
on.
what? The getting back to the
That
predators.
motherfucker said, "No, fuck that baby." He said, "But getting back to the predators, like,
But like you said, apex predator earlier, it kind of stuck. But I was like, I don't want to call them
yeah,
predators for a very obvious
yeah,
reason.
yeah." But that's why that apex word's so important, man.
Yeah,
Like,
very much
we in
so.
2024. I
Well,
seen what happened to
I
Diddy
was
and
actually
them.
thinking of their opponents in the nine canon movies. But
Yeah.
anyway, so like they are literally ambushing and like they drop down and wipe out pretty much almost all of them off brand niggas. They get them niggas up out of there immediately. And let me just say, having acid blood is such a fake ass
I
defense
swear to
mechanism.
God, I was just
That
about to say that
shit,
you was talking about how intelligent the aliens are earlier, bro. not only are they, creative with their battle tactics and whatnot, they weaponize their own demise, dog. A couple of folks killed the aliens that they were seeking to kill and got hit with that acid and got their ass right up
Come
out of
on,
there,
bro.
dog.
That got Hicks in the face, Vasquez in the leg. It
Somebody got hit on the
killed
arm.
Not Gorman. It killed one of them, but Gorman held back.
Was it Hudson?
I think I think it was Hudson. Yeah, because Burke and Bishop go. Okay, yeah, it is Hudson. I'm like, it's so many fucking names. It's Vasquez, Burke, Hudson, Gorman, Bishop. It's a bunch of them. Anyway,
Hitch.
Hicks. I fuck with Hicks though. But yeah, so it's like literally, like you said, like they literally successfully killed several aliens, but the fucking blood spatter is so bad that like killing an alien at too close a proximity is essentially
Will fuck you
suicide.
over.
Trey, can
It's
I
like,
tell you something?
go
I
ahead.
watched this bitch put the pedal to the floor on a vehicle and she ran over a fucking alien. The acid got on the tires or whatever that shit is, fucked the whole vehicle off, dog.
So also going back to the ingenuity of the aliens, like right after that ambush, they realized we got to get out of here. They call that bitch to fly the
Look
ship
at
in.
this.
It's an alien stowed away in the getaway ship, nigga. Hold on, what you feeling? Oh
Hey,
yeah, that's fine.
that bitch was posted up. She kept talking shit. Hey man, what the fuck is going on? And she gonna grab a pistol or whatever the fuck, a knife or whatever, like it's gonna do something. Well, that bitch got cooked.
Come on, man. That shit is classic. But it's like that's what I'm saying. Like they're so ingenious. Like literally hid out in the ship, killed that bitch, and fucked up the escape ship, blew all that shit up. There go all your resources and ammunition. Now y'all body for real. Then they
Mm-hmm.
come through the vents and shit, 40 deep, fuck niggas up. Then Big Buddy, I think that was Gorman. He got the up and choppers on niggas. Like he was really
Mm-hmm.
holding shit off. Ingenious ass alien, like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna go under and snuck under the vent, grab that nigga down. Like, we told you, we not playing with you, boy. And like literally snatched his tough ass right down,
Mm-hmm.
never to be seen again, which was
You was
fucking
talking all that
crazy.
good shit a second
Yeah,
ago,
like
bitch.
you thought you were
Run
cool
that
with the
now.
bullets. Shoot down here, bitch ass nigga. Now you cooked. But also, I want to rewind because I know we're not going in perfect chronological order, but I want to make sure I don't skip this part. Burke, it's like we find out that Burke has a ulterior motive, and he is
He's
trying
a
to bring back a
bitch.
couple of the face huggers so that he can
Every
sell them.
time with this shit, man.
That
Every
shit's
This
time,
terrible.
bro.
this got one more movie before it gets into Saw movie territory, dog. Every time a motherfucker
It's
just
a
does
fuck
some
nigga.
avoidable shit, and you out here like, you know what I'm saying, you done doomed off a bunch of folks because your ass, I don't know if I'll even say greedy, but you're just a fucking idiot.
That shit is idiotic as fuck. So he
Greedy,
ended up getting
greedy idiot sounds correct. He's a greedy
so
idiot.
he get called out for being a motherfucking greedy idiot, and then Ripley not having that shit. So she was finna put boot up buddy ass right then and there. But then they find out that the cooling tower over there that was pretty much keeping the area sustainable for the colony
It's a
has
big
just
fucking bomb.
yeah, it's literally a bomb, and now they have lost power to the cooling system. So now it's about to overheat and blow this whole shit up. So now they're on a timer as well as being hunted by a horde of fucking aliens.
And dealing with a traitor in their midst.
Very
Like,
much so.
Speaking of the trader and how they was, bro, the dialogue in this shit is so fucking funny at some points because it's so 80s to say you're fucking dog meat, pal. It's over for you, man.
bro, that
Like, that shit
motherfucker
funny
was
as hell.
bitching through the whole movie, Roots. It was the entire time it was,
Game
oh
over,
man,
man.
we're so fucked, man. We're so fucked. Like, and then
How are we gonna
you
get
know what
out
I'm
of here
saying?
now, man?
Ripley got on his ass. She said, "Hey, we gonna be all right. This little girl survived here with no weapons, no food, no training. That little girl over there, she saluted him with the helmet on. He said, why don't you put her in charge, man?"
Yeah, that's the softest shit ever, boy. That nigga's a
Boy,
bitch.
hey,
That
but
nigga was
to
bitching,
dial
boy.
back just a second ago, Trey, one point I did want to make. We
Yeah,
made
yeah.
this point in the first movie, bro. If you put, let's say there's 200 aliens in this movie. This is
Mm.
not nearly the same movie nor scenario if you put 200 lions in this situation, bro. Like, this shit these are not just like animalistic things. These are intelligent creatures with the capabilities of
With
animals and whatnot and
problem
beyond.
solving, like
Yeah,
Tactics,
like
bro.
literally like problem solving. I think that's the best way to say it, which is absolutely insane. It's like they're forward thinking, like they're intelligent. Like that's fucking terrifying,
And
nigga.
beyond,
Like
yeah, and beyond the killer capabilities, like you have a sentience
literally,
to you.
literally like within second murder capabilities. Like I don't even have to consider how. Like I have like
Mm-hmm.
multiple ways to get you out of here, and they're all
Mm-hmm.
extremely effective. My tail is
And
as
you
sharp
know
as blades. Like
what's
I have
crazy?
two mouths. I have acid for blood. I'm faster. I'm stronger.
I
I'm
got big ass
bigger.
claws.
Come on, bro. Like that shit is. They're
That
literally
shit is
like
broken, bro. That
unstoppable.
shit's broken
Bro,
as fuck.
look at the difference they made taking out the colonies to taking out the military motherfuckers. With the colonies, you remember whenever they first got there and shit, and they're looking around, it's half eating donuts, half cups of coffee. They
Mm-hmm.
caught them chilling. They
Yep.
ran down on military personnel next with mad machine guns and grenades and pistols and all that shit, and took them motherfuckers out one by one. Yeah, you gonna get a couple of us. We definitely gonna get your dumb ass though.
Hey, bro,
I
one
go ahead.
another thing that I think was good is the like the I guess the visual this in this movie of the
Mm,
egg opening and shit was
that
way
shit looks
better
so
than the
fucking
first one.
gross.
Like that shit looks nasty, dog, and that little motherfucker peeking out that bitch. Boy, that shit is sick, man.
Another thing I appreciate when Ripley saw that, she put Blick to it. Come on, I appreciate that so much. As soon as
Cause
you
she's
see,
seen this movie before.
because we not playing with you, bitch ass nigga. As soon as I see something, I'm like, I'm upping. Like everything out here is dangerous and acidic. I'm upping Blick on everything that look like it don't look like me. That's I
Listen,
swear to God.
bro, Ripley is the smartest main character I've ever seen in a movie, bro. She
Yep.
runs down, grabs the kid, ends up in a bigger nest than before, found where all the eggs being laid at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sees the big ass queen, Queen Xenomorph without words. She upped the torch. You see what I'll do to your kids? You better let me go. The motherfucker had two other xenomorphs right there with us. She nodded them off. Hey, chill. She might take out all of us. Let's just relax. Let her be out.
I
Then she
mean,
get far enough away and say, "Man, fuck your kids." Start torturing them bitches and then take off. Bro, that's smart as fuck. Like,
I
I
fuck with that,
and
but
it's fire.
I ain't gonna lie. Big
literally
Queen wasn't going without no fight. Big Queen was
hell
on there
no.
with her ass. But also, well, I guess we can wait to the end, but we got to talk about the plot armor too.
Well, I can. Okay, so one thing, like I've been building to this point. Like I say, I watched like the show about the making of this movie and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
and
Hmm.
I can't fully take credit for coming up with this point myself, but it is something that I noticed, and I might have eventually put it together myself. Is that this movie realistically is like a tale of two mothers? Y'all realize that, right? Like it's
Mm,
two moms doing battle. You know what I'm saying? Like Ripley
fire.
lost her daughter and shit, which is why I mentioned that shit earlier. Ripley's daughter died like 2 years ago. She feels like a piece of shit mom because she said I told her I'd be home for her birthday. You know what I'm saying? I never came back. She died and shit. You know what I'm saying? So she like has this motherly bond with the little girl she finds and shit. You
Newt.
know what I'm saying? The entire time she taking care of Newt and shit. She like making sure she gets out of there, whatnot. And it's her indomitable motherly will versus the motherly will of the queen xenomorph and shit. And that's really what it boils down to, is both of them was finna go to war behind their babies being in danger.
Yeah, that's a
you
fact.
know
which is
and I
which
So,
think
it speaks to the saying, everybody is their own hero, or everybody's a hero in their own story, whereas the
hmm
xenomorphs probably don't think they're evil. They're just fending off their what they see as their land, because they was
yep
there before the colonies got there. Come back, it's a bunch of random niggas in our crib. Fuck it, y'all food now. They
hmm
pull up, the military people pull up because y'all done killed our people, and now it's just an all out brawl, but
yep.
everybody on each side think that they're the good guy.
that's
And
real.
also, like, sometimes we are the aliens, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
like in this
as
case, we're definitely the aliens. Like we went to their
hmm
shit and populated, terraformed, and colonized their land, and now they like,
Changing the atmosphere and
bitch,
shit.
do you know we got acid blood? Like, is that like of all the places you could have dropped these bitch ass niggas off? You can, all right, hey, cool shit.
Hey, you think motherfucker saying, "Hey, bro, you think I'm bad? Wait till you see my mom's and shit." Like
Fact, nigga.
My
Intergalactic
moms would really do
DoorDash, I
that, nigga.
guess, nigga.
with no pussy, right, Roots?
Had to drop the pussy off first, bruh.
Yeah,
Had to
that
drop
dropped the
the
pussy
baby
off
maker
shit.
off real quick, and
You
because
got
it was really over. She look, bro. Ripley dumped off so much, emptied the fucking flamethrower, shot all the fucking bullets, had the
Mm-hmm.
grenade launcher on that bitch, dumped on the pussy real quick, and then dipped off. You can't run around with that dragon behind you. Got to drop it off real quick.
Bro, this motherfucking like that fight scene though, like is cold as a bitch. Where that this bitch got in a fucking like basically a human forklift suit. You know what I'm
Fucking
saying? And
transformer is what it is.
yeah, like and decided like, all right, bitch, you not finna touch the little girl. Like we finna run the ones. She ran the ones with an intergalactic matriarch and shit in what is essentially a forklift with feet. Like, is that not cold? Like I don't
clean
Bro,
as
bitch
fuck,
went and
actually.
found a fucking Autobot, hopped in that bitch, and went to fade.
with no
Think this is.
hesitation, bro. Like she wanted that shit dead. She said, "We not leaving until there's no more of you." Like,
I fuck with it. I feel like again, this is plot armor coming to save a bitch, but it's still pretty fire that she was like brave, like she was. Like I think that was her strongest trait was that like she's just it's sheer bravery, bro. It's like that
hmm
shit fire to
There
me.
was a bit of plot
she's
armor
just
for the
really
alien too, because
determined,
whenever
man.
whenever she Ripley first take off, right? She get in the motherfucking elevator taking super long and shit, that bitch go up. Tell me why another elevator drops to pick up the fucking queen xenomorph. She look over there, oh, so another elevator. I'm gonna just go up this bitch. End up meeting her at the top floor. That looked like some of the dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen. For me to jump in the damn elevator and you send another elevator down there to get my op as I'm trying to escape.
Yeah, that shit is. I actually would have been pissed. Like, there's some hoe ass shit. Like, if we call a spade, this shit gay. Like, honestly, y'all need.
Why, bro? What's the
Bro,
problem?
because for one, the first
Hold
elevator
on,
took
I want to know
forever to
what
get
Trey
down that
problem
bitch.
is with it. Trey, what's the
Well,
matter, man?
you don't think that shit gay? Like, are you fucking serious? Like, I'm running from fucking Galactus over here, and you send another fucking elevator? Like, that's the gayest shit ever. Like,
You
literally,
think, damn, bro?
I
You
have
think they stopped
essentially
making
escaped.
elevators when they made yours?
Bro, listen. That's like, all right. That's like, could you imagine if like you was trying to shoot me, but I knew that and I took the bullets out of the gun before you knew that, and then somebody airdrops you a care package with ammunition? Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. Like, I was prepared for that. I've already beaten this nigga. Y'all cheating, bro. Like, the fuck out of here. Like, I've escaped on an elevator through a shaft that you can't climb. Where'd you get a second elevator? Who the fuck had two elevators in 86 on a fucking planet that nobody but
Bro, this
200
this
people live on?
this shit
How do you
takes
need
place
two
in like the year.
elevators?
This
What
shit
what
takes place in like
fucking
the year
building is this?
No, no,
2157 or
no, no,
something,
no,
man.
Trey.
Some shit.
Two functioning elevators in a building that's coming down, crumbling, and exploding and on fire and shit. I've never,
Two
bro. You know, in every building they tell you don't use the elevator if there's a
you
fire.
have
There's more than a
multiple
fire. There's a fucking nuclear reaction going on in this building, but both the elevators work.
you mean to tell
Yes.
me that y'all didn't shut down shit? There's a nuclear reaction going off over here. There's an acidic xenomorph queen down here, and there's acid blood corroding this entire motherfucking facility. You mean to tell me both the elevators work?
I don't know, bro.
Are you fucking nuts?
Maybe they finally learned their lesson from the last movie and shit, man. Oh,
Oh
you mean
my
I was
god.
about 3 seconds too late to shut down the self destruct sequence? Maybe we shouldn't shut every fucking thing off. You know what I'm saying? Like as a
In
result
case
of
there's an
some shit.
alien
Like
attack.
yeah, like maybe they learned their fucking lesson.
I'm talking about I would have been pissed, buddy.
You
Like
know
you
that's in
Nick
the fucking floor plan. Let's make sure we have a backup power source for the fucking elevators as the fucking shit is exploding.
Hey, uh, I do think something that's fire though was the Bishop redemption arc, and well, I won't even say redemption, but you know what I'm saying, like his
Yeah,
arc
that
or
Bishop.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
gonna lie,
Like,
he had to do a lot more than that to redeem. He's still not redeemed in my eyes. Fuck that nigga.
damn,
Damn, he
what did he
didn't
do
do nothing.
wrong?
I feel like
Oh,
he
you
was
talking about
redeemed
Bishop? I'm
after.
The
thinking.
robot
I'm sorry. I'm
root.
thinking. I'm still
You
You
thinking.
talking
I'm
about
thinking of
still
Burt?
thinking
Bert?
of the lieutenant. What's the lieutenant
Bert
name,
didn't do
bro?
nothing.
Yeah, Burt.
Not
Burt
Bert.
tried
Not
to hold
Bert.
them niggas. Hey, Burt seen them niggas coming up the vent. He bent corner and slammed the door on their.
I'm gonna keep it a
That
buck,
nigga's a
Trey.
bitch.
Hey Trey, that boy seen that bitch and the little girl finna get smoked by a crab,
Nigga
alien
started
crab and shit, and
started
he
punching
just
the shit
cut the
out that button
camera
to
off
close the
and
door.
shit. He just
That
no, he
nigga's
just cut
bent.
the camera off. Roots, he said, "Nope,
Oh yeah,
let me
yeah.
just
She
cut this
Oh
she in
nigga
there
yeah,
loose."
waving her
yeah, with
hand.
the fucking
Hey,
face hugger
hey,
walk
it's some
up.
shit going on in here. He
That
said,
nigga's a
nope.
bitch,
Change the
boy.
channel.
Hey, he was like, "Is that a face hugger? If them bitches finna get attacked, it ain't
Nope.
got nothing to do with me. I don't work
No, no,
security."
no, 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 Trey. No, Trey. He went in there, moved the gun out that she set on the bed, dumped the motherfucking hugger in there, and then locked the door. Then when shit started popping off, he turned the fucking camera off.
I forgot he put the alien in that.
Bro, he is a grade A
Hey, look,
bitch.
he seen 40 of them niggas coming up the vent. He was like, steel door. Maybe I should leave all y'all behind and
Boy,
got the fuck up out of there. Hey, but here we
Somebody
go
got
with
to
that
live to
alien
tell a story.
ingenuity again. He thought he was safe. He bent another corner, big bad dinosaur alien on the other side of that bitch. Like, yeah,
hmm
buddy, we can crawl through that bitch too. Snatched his whole ass up. Them aliens tough as a bitch, but I ain't gonna lie to you.
bro, he
But
thought
Oh,
that
hold
also
shit
to
on.
was
I'm
a
say, I
sorry.
feel
game,
like,
Just
man.
again, why does this alien know how to open fucking elevators by pressing the button?
bro, the queen ripped Bishop in literal half, my
Half,
nigga.
bro.
Yeah,
Like,
that shit
talk
was
about
fucking crazy.
visuals. Getting your fucking midsection taken off is absolutely barbaric. Like,
The whole
the
time he just
aliens were,
looking up at that bitch, bro. Like he just looking at that bitch, like in terror. Like
bro, the
you shouldn't have
aliens,
emotions, bro. You
they
are a
were
robot.
fucking, they were violent anyway, but that queen
Mm.
was really violent. Like, she
Bro,
literally.
all our kids just got dumped off, babies and
And
adults.
speaking of fucking ingenuity again, that bitch ducked off in the landing gear of the escape pod. Like, where is
Yep.
these genius ass? How do y'all know
It
how all this
had the
shit
door
functions?
closed, bruh. The motherfucking the queen had to jump a good 10 feet. I'm not saying that you can't, but you jumped so precisely to be able to. I know that fucking landing gear was drawing up as they were fucking taking off. I
Man,
know it
come on,
was.
man.
Beyond that point, bro, when it got to be, you know what I'm saying, she fighting that motherfucker in the auto loader and shit. That bitch gets the airlock basically open or whatever and shit, where that bitch is finna fall out. She's not going for that shit. She like wraps around that fucking auto loader and is finna drag this bitch out to hell with her, boy. She don't give a fuck about none of that shit y'all talking about.
Yeah, that shit cool. Which is why plot armor Ripley survives again. Because if we talking about just pure plot armor, number one, she survives that double face hugger attack, and like the little girl survived. Like that face hugger would have tore that little bitch to shreds if she was anybody else.
Facts.
Newt surviving all that shit is plot armor supreme. But anyway, like Ripley survives the face hugger attack. Like you wake up and it's two face huggers out the case. You mean to tell me they didn't already wrap your ass up? Them niggas don't play. If one thing I've known about them aliens, they don't waste time. They don't do nothing. They don't waste no energy. As soon as they
What's
have
cracking,
the
son?
opportunity, them niggas attack. So the moment them niggas wasn't in them cases, that bitch would have been wrapped up. I don't believe all this waking up and realizing they not. No, you should have been wrapped the fuck up. Them niggas don't wait
Oh,
no
it was
motherfucking
mad
time.
time between the attack and her
That's
waking
what
up.
I'm.
She had
That
enough
shit
time
is
to notice the gun wasn't there
crazy.
no more.
Come on, bro. Like that never. No, none of them aliens play that shit. So she survived that shit. Then she even went down there, killed all them regular niggas, killed, fucked up them babies, and got away from that queen. Then the queen came out. She got on that fucking Gundam suit and got on the queen ass again. Then
I'm
put the
sorry,
queen in the
you missed
airlock.
the. I'm
The
sorry,
queen so
just to pause
motherfucking
you.
strong. She dragged that bitch into the airlock with her. You managed to open the motherfucking airlock. It take only the queen. You hanging on by a ladder. You mean to tell me the force pull of space couldn't get you to let go of a ladder? Are you fucking crazy? You know how strong that pool actually is if you open up a fucking window on a
Airplane.
plane
Yep.
on
You getting
just a
sucked out
Your
plane,
ass
that
might be
bitch.
getting the fuck
you're
up out
getting
of here.
snatched clean out that bitch. You're in space. You mean tell me you? How fucking strong is
There's no
Ripley?
air, bro. Fuck all that. There is no
Hold on.
oxygen,
I'm
bro.
sorry. Before you go, KTL, she managed to get away from the xenomorph the first time, carrying at least a 60-pound child the
Oh my
entire way
fucking
there.
lord! Are you kidding
Let's
me?
not forget that part.
That
Bro,
bitch is plot armor supreme.
I don't know, man. She might just be really determined. Like,
I don't know what kind of
That's what
determination.
do it in movies.
Come
That
on,
you
shit
ain't
man.
don't
never
work in
been a
real life.
You
you
stronger
you
than not having oxygen,
you
motherfucker.
ain't
What kind
never
of
been a mom,
determination?
Trey.
What kind of determination allows you to out strength not being
A
able to
mother's
breathe?
love, bro.
Fuck
Bro,
out of here. A
I've
mother's love
seen
for somebody
trained
else's kid.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
listen, bro, I've seen trained soldiers jump out of airplanes, deploy their fucking parachute, and can't avoid hitting a fucking truck on the ground. But she can hold a fucking ladder to survive the pull of space. I don't hear that shit.
Come on, bro, a ladder. Like you strong enough that you can, and
Boy, that
then
ladder would have been coming out with
climb
them
it.
bolts,
Not just
boy.
hang on to it. You climbed it because you had to get to the
Resist
top
it
and
and
close
fight
it.
against it.
All right, man,
Like,
come
what the
on.
fuck?
You're stronger. Not only strong enough to hold
This
on
is
to it,
one of the
you can
coldest
go in the
characters.
opposite direction.
This is one of the coldest characters I've ever seen, bro. Bar none.
Listen,
Like
bro,
this
I
bitch.
might got in the backyard, Ripley versus Rambo, I
This
might got
bitch.
Ripley, bro.
This bitch is a dog. Like,
If she come with her plot armor, I got her against Goku, nigga. Like, are you crazy? Her, her plot armor is ridiculous. But just to
hey,
kind of get back to it, because my battery dying, so I want to make sure I cover all the things that I wanted to cover.
charge
I
that
think
hoe.
I think that like this movie is an excellent sequel, like you mentioned before. It does a good job of expanding on the story without making the same movie twice, right? Like the
Mm.
first movie was more of a sci-fi horror thing where these people are pretty much confined and running from an unknown threat, and the second movie is
It's
more of an
already more
action.
diverse than Saw.
Absolutely, not even close either. And like what a second movie expands on the main character, really goes into her story, lets you know what's going on, but it changes the theme. It's like we're not running from an unknown source, we're hunting it now, right? And
Mm.
then you go in there and realize, no, you're still not hunting it. They're still hunting you. So it's like, and then like she
They
has
was
to
just waiting for you to
escape
get
again.
there.
Like it goes from running, like it goes from escaping to being hunted again. Like I mean, like from like you were running and then you escaped and then you went back to hunt it and now you have to escape it again because it's really that badass. You know what I'm saying?
Also, I think it like the characters that they give you in this whole like the Marines are far more interesting characters than the crew of the Nostromo and shit in the
Yeah.
first movie. Like
Just
the
think
Vasquez and Hicks, you know what I'm saying, and Hudson bitch ass, you know what I'm saying. All these motherfuckers were like they were far more interesting as characters. I feel like I didn't just care about Ripley in this movie.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I feel like Vasquez was an interesting character. I feel like they were very different
mm,
as well as their personalities too. Right? Like the
mm.
Bro,
captain was very
trade that
different.
They
bitch or
had the
not?
it was a little tropey though. It was definitely like trope
Yes.
military motherfucker.
Well, they use the word badass so many times. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Badass.
Like,
The first sergeant kept calling them ladies. Like this shit
Yeah.
is AI generated. Like
Yeah,
hey,
but you got to think it's 1986, right? So like
they
yeah.
set the tropes.
I'm about to say, yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah, yeah.
overdone yet. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't overdone yet. It wasn't even stereotypical all the way yet. Like I think that was just like the idea, right? Like that's what 1980s Marines probably really sounded like. You know what I'm saying? And granted, in a movie, they're gonna do like it's gonna be like hyperbole. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna overdo it a little bit to sell the point that they got these, hard ass Marines and shit. You got the lesbianist type bitch and Vasquez and you know what I'm saying?
Hey
Like you got all
Trey,
that
that
type of shit.
bitch got blown. Like Buddy was out there trying to slide in that hole the whole fucking movie, dog. They died together in a vent, blew they self up to kill a fucking alien, yo. That shit is a wicked ass way to go out. That boy was trying to get inside some stud pussy.
Yeah, that shit crazy. But in the military, stud pussy is as good as it's gonna get most of
Yeah, I'm about to say. I'm gonna be
the
honest
time.
with you. That shit is free range in that motherfucker.
Yeah, if I'm surrounded by 40 niggas and one genuine bitch, I don't give a fuck who she like. I like
Yeah,
her.
I don't give a damn what your haircut look like,
That's a
bitch. Does
fact.
it work? Like you can drop that motherfucker off after we done. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. That nigga said, let me put this pussy
Drop
down.
this pussy.
Let me put this pussy down and catch this fade is just some of the filthiest shit I've ever heard. Oh my God, we got to clip this. Let me
Oh
put this
shit.
pussy down and catch this
Uh,
fade. All right, so back to
shut
these
up, man.
predators.
Stop saying it. Like, what? Shut up.
Speaking of getting pregnant by aliens, great
Fuck.
episode.
You see what I'm
Great
saying?
fucking
Come
episode.
on, bro. Motherfucker say, come on, bro. Fuck that baby. But anyway, back to these predators. Like,
Definitely fuck that fucking
come
baby.
on, bro.
Yeah, okay, so this episode has fuck that baby. Speaking of getting
Uh-huh.
pregnant by aliens,
Back to these
Uh-huh.
predators.
back to these predators, and let me put
Let
this
me put
pussy
this
down and
pussy
catch
down.
this fade. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I told
Hey,
you
this is
I
an
knew this
alien
alien shit was
movie.
gonna write itself.
I'm
I
about
knew
to
it
say,
would.
yeah, this an alien movie from 1986. This is the plot and the content. Like,
This is fucking nuts. So just to
but
kind of bring this all to a conclusion, in case we didn't, Ripley fights off the Queen Alien after the Queen Alien really came to really get on shit with her, and she shoots her out of the airlock again. That's like her go-to move, her fucking spirit bomb at this point. And
That is her spirit, bro.
Goku gets shot in the airlock. He going to visit with King
Nigga,
Kai. I ain't gonna lie. If,
that's her final blast, yo.
hey,
that's a fact.
If
Hey,
Goku
that
tries to
bitch,
get active with
her
that bitch, he
Kamehameha
going
is
out the
knocking you
airlock to
into that
meet King
Hey,
motherfucker.
Kai.
Her spirit bomb is letting you out that bitch.
yo.
Like she don't play about that
Oh
airlock
my
bull.
god.
She 2 for 2 on that airlock.
Yeah,
That
she
hoe
ain't.
shooting
Bro,
Yeah, never
100%
imagine
touched
from
it's
me
an
that
in the
anime
airlock.
where
airlock.
they call out the name of the move. Activate
That's a fact. Hey, she
airlock.
hitting that hoe, and she clearly has control over the wind force that's surrounded because that bitch couldn't get pulled off the ladder. So I'm done with the plot armor. Ripley, you a bad bitch. So yeah, and then like we come back to, and then like she's coming back to Earth and shit. Like she apparently is gonna be Newt's new mom because that's just how shit goes, man.
Yeah, back
I
in the
mean,
80s in
I'm gonna
space,
keep
you
it a
just
buck,
there
Trey.
is no
Like, ain't no.
adoption papers. You just pick a
Well,
child up and that's
I'm
it.
about to say, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Ain't nobody gonna fight her over it. Like, who the
That's a
fuck
fact.
else?
And to keep it more of a buck, she really got ownership because it's like them aliens body her parents and she bodied them. So it's like by
Yeah,
proxy,
it's the
when you
transitive
whoop the
property.
ass of the nigga who whooped the previous ass, you are now king of the hill. Like that's how king of the hill works.
Hey, hey. um, shut the fuck up, man. Um, I'm not gonna lie, man.
Yo, son.
Are those not the rules, nigga? The last man standing.
Hey,
Yeah,
shut
you
the
whooped
fuck
them, but
up,
I whooped
Yo, so
you.
you
So
saying this
nigga,
whole
bro.
hold on. The
Shut the
whole
fuck up,
the
man.
whole fight was over the child?
that's a
The
fact.
I'm
entire
gonna keep
movie
it a
was who
buck.
wins the child?
Beyond that, bro, it was the custody of Dominic ladder match. But
Hey,
beyond
that's a
that,
fact.
be, but beyond that,
Hey,
bro,
they really had
like
2 Mexicans wrestling for a baby. That shit right.
hell yeah. Hey, and then they had his bitch come out and try to tip the ladder
Come
over and
on,
shit.
man. They had a
Oh fuck.
Mexican nigga that pull up in lowriders and a lucha libre nigga fight over a fucking
And
baby
they gotta
that
climb
doesn't.
a ladder.
They
They
had
They're
gotta
the
climb a
only
fighting
ladder.
two
for
archetypes.
custody of a
They had
child
the
that doesn't
only two
belong to.
archetypes that America knows of Mexicans fight against each other for
And
Come on,
custody
man.
of a
they're
child,
climbing a
bro.
ladder to snatch down a clipboard. Like,
Oh my
that is
To
how you
God.
win
sign
the
for his
match.
adoption. And 20 years later, he is still a Mysterio. So he was literally adopted. Like, this shit is
Hey,
sick as hell.
hey, I'll tell you this though, Trey. I don't think nobody gonna challenge that shit anyway, bitch. I done bodied an alien while getting sucked out in the vacuum of space with no air. What you really want to run this? Like,
That's a fact. Like, I gotta be top 2 toughest motherfuckers ever. Like, not only have I battled an alien, I have battled
Mhm.
multiple aliens and defeated
including the
multiple
And
queen
then
aliens
the
while
alien.
biggest
fighting
alien.
against the vacuum of space. Like, I am literally however many it is in O against these niggas. Like, I haven't
Bro,
lost to none of these
she
niggas.
is a fucking terror of xenomorphs, bro.
I have watched
She's
Xenomorphs
fucking
body
Frieza.
at least 15 niggas in one shot, and I have beat 40 of these niggas. Y'all can't fuck with me. Like,
But yeah, and then like
I'm
I
actually
could you
excited.
imagine?
At this
Could you
point, the rest
imagine
of the
winning
movies is
Russian
just the
roulette
xenomorphs
40
trying to kill
times in a
Ripley.
row? Like, that's what that's like. Winning Russian roulette 40 times in a row. Like, nigga, I have tried to die a bunch. These niggas can't kill me, bro. I'm too tough
and
for these
I
niggas.
now at this point I go out there and help y'all not die.
That's a
You know what I'm
fact. Like,
saying? This shit ain't about me.
without me, you niggas would have been dead. Like, I saved all the bitch ass niggas I could. I couldn't keep all you niggas. Like, shit. That shit's
And now,
crazy. No,
now,
that bitch
and now,
Ripley. That
now I left with. Now I'm leaving with this baby, and ain't none of y'all gonna press shit.
that's
Like,
a fact. And if y'all do, you can meet the same shit. Niggas king of here.
Airlock.
So yeah, that
Fuck
like
you
I
airlock
talking
shit.
say,
about?
so like they got finally they addressed that shit too. She tells Newt that she thinks they both gonna finally be able to sleep without nightmares and shit. You know what I'm saying, on the way back. So that kind of helps conclude the PTSD arc and shit.
Right.
Yep, yep.
Um, you know, y'all have anything else? Y'all want to talk about the final score and the ratings?
I
Oh,
just want to
same
say
thing. Final thoughts.
I'm pretty impressed. Yeah, this can be final thoughts. I'm pretty impressed with how this is going so far. Again, I've never watched any of these movies. The only things that I've seen with Alien in it is the Alien vs Predator movies. Um, and those were good. I think I enjoy these more, especially watching them movie by movie. I'm definitely excited for the next movie to see how the fuck they're gonna try to kill Ripley again, because at this point it's just a race to kill Ripley. Ripley is the number one op of all xenomorphs, and she's up like 30-0.
Yeah,
So
she
I'm
smoked.
excited to see what happens next.
Absolutely.
Oh, and the score, it was shot very well. um they fixed a lot of what I considered fuck ups from the first movie with visually, and I dig this movie a lot. This is starting to become one of them things that I'll probably go back and revisit some time from now. So this particular movie, I'm gonna give this whole like an 8.6.
You go ahead, KT.
All right. I mean, like I say, this movie is better than the first one. It is, I graded the first one a bit on a curve because it's a 45-year-old movie. By contrast, this movie is 28 years old, or 86. That'd be no 38. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 38.
It is a 38-year-old movie. Um, with that being said, I don't feel like I have to grade this on much of a curve. There are corny dialogue choices that are a representation of where they were at in the era, but
Mm,
beyond that, the fucking special effects look good. The aliens look even more phenomenal. They expound on both their lore and their abilities here, while giving a new set of things to be afraid of, in terms of like, oh, they have a queen and there's this colony and this and that. Woo op the bam. They make they end up making Ripley a more solidified character. She has her own demons to fight this time, while still overcoming the odds, and I think that that's a great hero story. Like, she really one of the coldest bitches ever. And they, like I say, they do the underlying theme of like motherhood being a central conflict that ties both the antagonist and the protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
I really can't think of much like bad that I want to say about this movie, man. Um, I I don't know, man. Like, I almost want to give it a 10, but I don't know. Like, I'll tell
if
you what,
that's
I'll
your
give it
score,
a
then that's your score,
no,
bro.
no. I got to give it a 9.5, because the one thing is, this is a long fucking movie, man.
Indeed.
And you know what I'm saying? It was good throughout, but god damn, you got to sit down for over 2.5 hours to watch this bitch, bro. So like you are sitting down to watch, like, to experience a journey. It is a fucking phenomenal journey, but that's the one thing that I can take away from it. But it is all pretty much a 10 out of 10 movie almost.
Right.
So you got a 9.5
Yeah,
as your
yeah,
score.
I'll go with a 9.5.
So I'm gonna pretty much echo most of KTL's sentiments in the sense that, as far as sequels go, I think this is a perfect sequel. I don't think you should have taken a different direction. I don't even know if you could. Well, I know you could have, but this is the most successful direction you could have taken. It's essentially an entirely new movie. It does build on things we've seen before, and it does play on the knowledge of things you may have known from watching the first movie. But it is a flawless sequel in a sense that it is its own movie. It stands alone as far as the concept, and then what we watch, it improves across the board visually. I'm sure we could all agree. But it
Mm,
also serves as a good ending point. Like if they don't make another one, that would be okay.
Mm,
Like we watched her go in there and actually dominate what we believe to be the source of the aliens. Like she got the queen and then she finished the queen. So like if there was never another alien movie made to continue this saga, this would have been an acceptable ending. You know what I mean? It's like we kind of got left on a cliffhanger with her drifting back off into space, and like we kind of want to know what happens with this. You know what I'm saying? It's like we actually watched her beat the quote unquote final boss. You know what I mean? So
mm.
in addition to it improving visually, with diving into the concept a little bit more, giving us a pretty unique cast, giving us a different storyline to follow as far as like how it plays out versus a like a sci-fi horror movie where they're trapped versus like an action movie where they're like attacking. Like we're getting like a bunch of different concepts, a bunch of different ideas, like better visuals, and then we actually get a sense of finality to it as far as this is a good place that if we never make another one, I don't feel cheated, right? So I am actually gonna say that I can't find something that's flawed here. Like I think this is a 10 out of 10,
Yeah, because
especially
you gave the last one like a 9.5. I was definitely wondering if you were going to give this a 10.
yeah, this is better in my opinion because it improves on the visuals, which makes sense. It's newer than that. And then as far as just like the diversity of the cast, the authenticity of the cast, because I believe that like if we're gonna be realistic, 1980s Marines are probably gonna fit into most of those archetypes shown,
The
right?
Predator movie included, whatever 80s Marines as well, and it's the same shit, you
Right. I
know?
mean, that's
Mm,
it's authentic though. Like that's what kind of what you expect from a Marine in the 80s, right? And then like
mm,
you have each person kind of displaying like, there's like the tough hardened like woman soldier who's out to prove that she really is that, you know what I'm saying? Then you got like the guy who's attracted to that. Then you got like the guy who's in charge but is really a pussy because he's never had to be in shit. Then you got like,
mm.
the second in command who probably should have been first in command. Like a lot of like those are real
Yeah.
elements of like how that shit actually breaks down. Then you got like the one who's panicking and it's like, oh, we're fucked, we're fucked. Then you got the one like, hold it together. We gotta figure like it's real. Like you would have like if we took a random group of people, you would likely get each of those different responses to those different scenarios. You know what I'm saying? Then like
Hmm.
the guy
Yeah.
who's actually supposed to be a Marine, he's tough, he's really taking shit out. The guy who's actually a leader, like so all of that shit was super. I thought the cast was super authentic. I thought like the storyline made a lot of sense, and I thought it really did deal a final blow as far as if the movie doesn't see another subsequent installment, we would not feel like, oh, they left us on a cliffhanger. Like technically, she beat what we assume to have been causing all of this, right? Like this is the queen. This is where they're being birthed at, and she destroyed the nest and killed the queen, essentially sending her off into like the space vacuum. So it's like we won. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a good way to follow this up. Like you were haunted by this. It took your life from you. You went back and conquered it. You know what I'm saying? And now, even though you had to give up your daughter and she had to live her life, you still get to raise a daughter. Like so, all of the essential issues that opened up the movie. The PTSD, the time being lost in time, losing your daughter, and all that shit. And then not really knowing what the outcome of the aliens would be, and then like even with people not believing you, now you can come back with some people alive this time because Hicks is still alive, Newt is still alive, and even though Bishop was ripped apart, he survived that technically as an android, right? So like you
Right.
don't have to worry about getting back to Earth and no one able to corroborate your story either. You know what I'm saying? So like everything that was an issue when the movie opened was technically resolved by the time the credits rolled. And I feel like that's what makes it a perfect sequel is that we don't have any questions to ask. So I am gonna give this a 10.
Hey, so y'all would watch this with a bitch?
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Probably not mine because she's scary as hell. But
I would want to watch the first one first because I would want it to make sense. But yeah, like if me and my wife was just sitting down watching movies, I'm like, let's watch the Alien series. Like I think you would fuck with this.
Have
Yeah.
you ever seen these before, Trey?
No, all of these are my first watches. I've never
Yeah,
seen
so I
any.
think all of us,
fire.
like, I've never watched any of these either.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I saw AVP and shit. One thing I do want to add is I think that this is also a great example of a period piece. Like, this is
Mm,
a fucking movie that you can watch and it exemplifies, like, its era in time. Even though it is based off some shit in the future and whatnot, Like
Yeah.
this movie is like a prime production of like what was capable in the 80s at its best.
So can
Yeah,
I?
when you
Can I
it is a space movie from the '80s, and it's probably one that you
One
can
of
pull
the
from
best
as
space
far
movies
as
of
just a
the 80s.
general look of what a space movie in the '80s looks like.
so can I ask something real quick?
What's up?
Okay.
So technically, in that movie, it's the year 2033, right? Because
Okay.
if that movie comes out in 1979, and then she sleeps for 57 years, then when she wakes up, it's 2033, which would be 9 years from now, right? Do
Well,
you?
actually,
Okay.
so the in the first one, I don't know what that
That
wind
is
is.
not
That
how
shit's crazy.
math works either, Trey.
But
Why not?
so in
If
the
it's
so look, so check
57
in
and
the
it's 79, it would have to end in a 6.
What I say?
well here's
You said
again here's the thing.
2033.
In the very first movie, while dude is sitting at the little motherboard shit, the time
Yeah,
pops up.
20,
It's 2037 in the first one.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
2037 in the first one,
Yes,
so it's 57 years beyond that. So
after
it'll
that.
be
So it's
Yes.
like
2094.
2094. Yeah.
Yeah, 2094. So, do you feel like, because like obviously they would have no fucking clue, right? Like where we are now in 2024, how far ahead or behind do you think we are from what that movie depicted the 2030s to look like?
We're definitely still behind, of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
we're still behind, but so one thing that they make seem like extremely regular in those type of movies is space travel. Though we've had space travel experiences, going to the moon, going taking pictures of fucking Mars and all that shit, wherever the fuck. Excuse me. They make that seem very effortless, and we haven't been there yet. But I think that it's closer than it is farther away, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you feel like, do you feel like we're 10 years away from cryogenic?
10, no. 20, yes.
Okay, I'll fuck with that.
maybe 30.
Maybe 30.
Well,
But
shit,
yeah, I'm gonna
this
rock out
world
with a
going
10,
to shit
man.
in the first place. We're gonna have to start going and get fucking resources from other places soon anyway.
So
Man,
what is let me look. Hold on. What is the next movie? Is it Alien 3 or is it, let's see here. Let's see, films. Yeah, it looks like Alien 3 came out in 1992. It's made by
We're
David Fincher.
taking another big time jump.
I
yeah, that's
believe
that.
David Fincher is the one behind. Yeah, he's the one that made Seven. So and Gone Girl and shit. Fight Club, Zodiac, etc. So
So
Okay.
we're going from 86 to 92, 6 years.
yeah,
So Sigourney
and
Mm.
Weaver starring this one as well.
But
huh?
it's still a big difference between how movies looked in the
Yeah,
'80s
very
and how
much so.
movies looked in the '90s. So I'm excited to see how Alien in the '90s looks compared
What'd
to
you
Aliens
say,
in the '80s.
Trey?
I was just asking, does Sigourney Weaver star in this one as well? Like,
Oh
does
yeah,
Yeah.
she is like front and center of the poster. Her name
okay,
says 3 times the suspense, 3 times the danger, 3 times the terror. Alien 3.
No way they from it
that's
being
ass.
mainstream, maybe from it already being behind the scenes, probably already have it. Oh, talking about the technology that they have there. Maybe. I mean, I honestly believe that we have fucking space travel technology that the government just haven't given us yet because we won't use that whole responsibly at all. So
All right, but so let's go ahead and sign us out, man. We got to go do another episode here in a second. Y'all pull up.
we'll literally be right back
Smoking
in five
Aces.
minutes.
Yeah, we're finna review Smoking Aces. So y'all pull up for that. Alien 3. We'll figure it out and get it set up when we get it set up.
Yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate the ones that pulled up and stayed. Cool if you didn't. Join the Discord and pull up for our next show. It's gonna be in about 5 minutes.
Live, man. This is Trey signing out.
And drop that pussy, y'all.